The most gorgeous part about my life, I've been genuinely sustained by probably the most fantastic ladies on the planet Oceanside that we be doing in rap. This is applause. You all wrecking the sack, you all wrecking the energy. Busta Rhymes, the regarded rap symbol, was as of late presented with a merited acknowledgement at the BET Grants, where he at last had the potential chance to relish the sweet scent of progress as a multi-platinum rapper. A chief lyricist and respected record maker, Busta Rhymes was regarded with a renowned Lifetime Accomplishment Grant. On Sunday night, this regarded award is saved for industry trailblazers who have made a permanent imprint on both culture and diversion. Yet one thing that the vast majority didn't see coming is him taking a hit at Diddy. After the honor function, he's one more gigantic name in the business. To uncover Diddy on his grimy sense and revolting treatment of youthful male craftsmen, we should investigate this tea together, obviously. Before I say anything more, ensure first that you buy into our channel and hit that warning chime for additional updates and recordings like this. Currently, we should make a plunge this rapper and him they all in the room together. May I go to the deck that go to Daddy House Studio, and I'm with Diddy and Q-Tip, and they was in there doing some Buster's pivotal event, was remembered by the presentation of entertainer Marlon Wayans, who suitably hailed the rapper as a splendid melodic power, further stressing his huge commitments on the off chance that you know Busta, we are glad for Busta. Since everyone realizes he merits it, he's a decent sibling, an extraordinary fella show up, said the receipt of this esteemed honor ended up being a massively close to home second for Busta Rhymes, overpowered with appreciation and pride. He transparently communicated his opinion, expressing, "I will wear it on my sleeve." The rapper's eyes gushed with tears, requiring the utilization of a hand towel to spot them away as he conveyed a genuine and broad acknowledgement discourse during his discourse. Busta Rhymes recognized the huge pretended by his dark social legacy. Informing his prosperity anyway, he likewise made a move to reveal insight into those people he accepted were taking advantage of youthful rappers, helping everybody to remember the difficulties that endure inside the business. In doing so, he exhibited his obligation to the government assistance of a rising specialists, and his assurance to resolve the issues had on a ton of significance from our kin and our way of life is naturally on the grounds that it's simply the enchanted that we have. Rhyme said, "I am appreciative for the gift that has been offered to me, and this gift that I have been given, and this fire that keeps on copying as an enthusiasm in my spirit." Rhymes added. Rhymes likewise expressed gratitude toward his companions in the hip bounce local area and made fun of his over-tender disposition. "I'm a genuine provider of adoration." He said, "Some of the time I realize I could overpower you, all I need to embrace you. And I won't let you go, I'll shake your hand tight. I address you from a spot that I truly maintain that you should realize I intend what I'm talking about here." Notwithstanding his strong comments about the difficulties looked by youthful rappers, Busta Rhymes likewise unpretentiously made references that appeared to imply Diddy, a notable figure in the business, who is frequently connected with a standing for not being liberal, while not unequivocally naming Diddy the ramifications who can be trusted. Recommended a scrutinize towards people who may not focus on rewarding the local area. Busta Rhymes' decision to address this subject in a roundabout way further underscored his obligation to featuring differences inside the music business and pushing for a more steady and supporting climate for a rising craftsman. You're wrecking the pack. You're wrecking the energy I could do without when I converse with these fellows that run these streaming stages. Offering his thanks, Busta Rhymes carved out opportunity to recognize and thank the people who have been unfaltering in their help all through his famous lifetime, perceiving the worth of fortitude and solidarity. He conveyed a rousing message to his kindred rappers, encouraging them to relinquish trivial contentions with conviction in his voice. Busta entreated his friends to move past these superfluous competitions and fights that can frequently occupy and prevent Progress you all wrecking the sack, you all wrecking the energy I could do without when I converse with these fellows that run these streaming stages. And they discussing we are switching the customer off in light of the fact that there's such a lot of bit of this and minimal that is happening with you rappers. We will stop that we will cherish one another. And we will get this cash. It is quite significant that Busta Rhymes' deceptions in this discourse appear to be coordinated towards Diddy, considering the last standing in the treatment of youthful specialists inside the music business. There have been allegations that dark tycoons exploit a rising ability to serve their own monetary advantages. Sadly, late conversations encompassing personality legislative issues have clouded the real essence of these supposed exploiters. As opposed to offering help to all hopeful dark performers, certain specialists like Kellis and Mace, who experienced early achievement, have approached to share their records of supposed double dealing under two profoundly effective dark figures in the business. Specifically, Pharrell and Diddy. These disclosures have revealed insight into debates encompassing their strategic policies and command over imaginative undertakings. Strangely, during the 2020 Grammys, Diddy, who is nearly turning into a tycoon, talked with accentuation about craftsmen themselves, assuming responsibility for the business as six fruitful makers and finance managers. These advancements stand out enough to be noticed to the continuous conversation encompassing creative independence and fair treatment inside the music business. And afterward, the young man say, obviously, OG, you realize we recognize you, OG, during his acknowledgement discourse at the BET. Grant's Busta Rhymes was without a doubt tending to figures like Diddy, considering the historical backdrop of allegations against him. In 2005, Diddy confronted Kickback when Jadakiss went on Sweltering 97 to voice his complaints about the terrible kid organizer keeping his distributing privileges prisoner. Ultimately, the two settled the issue, with Diddy returning the freedoms to Jadakiss, all the more as of late Pharrell confronted a claim for Marvin Gaye's domain, blaming him for similitudes between his development of Robin Thicke's obscured lines and gaze. Got to surrender at this fight in court, split music pundits and fans, bringing up issues about the limits among motivation and counterfeiting. Busta Rhymes' discourse verifiably highlighted figures like Diddy, who had confronted charges from different youthful craftsmen. They have marked Mace, known for his famous opening bars in the infamous Biggs Mo Cash Mo issues, left the business in 1990 39-0, in on religion, his reported issues with Diddy, and the Awful Kid record mark have been generally examined, and in a new Instagram post Mace uncovered his continuous battles with the Big Shot. These occurrences shed light on the perplexing elements and difficulties inside the music business, especially concerning craftsmen, double dealing, and imaginative control. Mace composed this I Heard Your Grammy discourse about how you are presently for the craftsman, and about how the craftsman should assume back command. So I will be quick to show that drive. Additionally, before we request that different nationalities do us right, we ought to improve, particularly the makers. I clearly heard you when you said that you are currently for the craftsman. And to that, my reaction is to see chains you can roll out the improvement today. By beginning with yourself, the welcome back rapper, proceeded with your past strategic approaches, have intentionally proceeded with you, have deliberately starved your specialists, and been very unjustifiable to exactly the same craftsmen, is that assist you with acquiring that symbol grant on the notable terrible kid name. For instance, you actually got my distributing from quite a while back, for which you gave me $20,000, which makes me never need to work with you as any craftsman wouldn't after you realize somebody is ransacking you and discoloring your name when you would rather not conform to his horrible plan of action. I truly want to continue to talk this. It took such a long time to give me this. I got such a huge amount to say. Mites further expounds on his encounters with Diddy, making sense of that he decided to stay quiet about the issue until he was in a protected monetary position. He needed to stay away from the view of tending to the matter in a spirit of meanness. As of late, Mace made a proposal to Diddy proposing to repurchase the distributing privileges that Diddy had initially obtained for a simple 20,000 bucks mace, offered $2 million for the freedoms, yet Diddy answered by expressing that mace would have to match the proposal of an European bidder to recapture his distributing privileges. On the other hand, Mace would need to trust that the privileges will return to him in 8 years. This disclosure highlights the complex and some of the time hostile nature of exchanges inside the music business, where monetary contemplations frequently assume a critical part in deciding the destiny of specialists' inventive freedoms. Such a lot of minimal this and minimal that happening with you rappers. We will stop very much. Did he express that subsequent to accepting his honor and giving the strong discourse of vigorous recognition for Rhymes, followed the MC collaborated with Split Star for Hostile to Up remix situation. And there we have it, an extra unmistakable sort standing in opposition to Diddy for his supposed abuse of youthful craftsmen. Do you accept it's at long last time for him to be considered responsible for his activities? Share your considerations in the remarks segment underneath. That is totally supportive of today. We truly want to believe that you partook in that video, and assuming you made a point to hit like buy in and hit that notice ringer for additional recordings like this.